Cách salad là phơi.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm XiaoWu. I live in a small village in southern China. Do you know how I managed to live here with just $1 per day in housing costs? If you're curious, hit that subscribe button, and come with me to check it out. This is my dad. He's a renovation worker. He started as a bricklayer, then switched to carpentry, and gradually became an interior finishing carpenter. He has been doing interior renovation work ever since I was a kid, and it's this skill that has supported our whole family. He usually works in coastal areas, hundreds of kilometers away from home. I actually grew up there. Recently he's had some free time, so he came back to rest for a week. It's been raining heavily for the past few days, and this storage room behind us was leaking badly. Since my dad is home, he decided to build a drainage barrier, to channel the water out so it doesn't flood everywhere. The whole family pitched in to help clean up the storage room. In the countryside, repairs like this are something we have to do ourselves. Hiring someone would be very expensive and not worth it. Because my dad knows all kinds of construction and renovation skills, he basically did all the interior finishing of our house by himself. That's why we hardly spend any money on house maintenance. I loaded all these old wooden boards we cleared out onto my dad's truck. He said he's going to rebuild our chicken coop, and these boards will come in handy. These 2 pineapples we bought online a few days ago were still green and not fully ripe when they arrived. The seller told us to leave them in the sun for a few more days, and it looks like he was right. They're ready to eat now. Let's cut one open and try it. When it comes to living costs here, the main expenses are water, electricity, and fuel. In the city, every household gets water, from the municipal water plant through pipes. But in the countryside, almost every family has its own well. All our daily water comes from that well. So, apart from the initial cost of digging the well, water is basically free here. Plus, because we're far from industrial pollution, the water quality is excellent. There's even a bottled water factory nearby that directly uses this groundwater. This pineapple tastes really good. My wife loves pineapple. She's already ordered it online twice. This little guy is my son. His nickname is 567. He's almost 7 months old now. It looks like he wants to try some too, but even though he started eating some solid food, he still can't have this yet. Actually, the biggest part of our living costs is electricity. Right now I'm out of work, so our family of 3 is living in this house in the village. My mom also lives with us. The biggest electricity users at home are the refrigerator, which runs every day, and the electric water heater. Since the baby was born, we need hot water at any time, so the water heater stays on. In summer, when it gets really hot, the upstairs rooms get baked by the sun all day, so we have to turn on the air conditioner. That's quite a bit of expense. But we only need it for about 2 months. All in all, our electricity bill comes to about $20 per month. Alright, now it's time for my favorite part, and something I'm really good at. I'm going to make a classic Chinese street snack for the family. It's called grilled cold noodles, and it's one of my favorite Chinese snacks. The cold noodle sheets were bought online a while ago, and have been sitting in the fridge for quite some time. The ingredients we need are onion, eggs, your favorite sausage or other meat, and some lettuce. This is the special sauce that comes with the cold noodle package. First, I pour it into a small bowl and set it aside. First, I pan-fry the meat until it's cooked. Then quickly heat the lettuce and set both aside. Now comes the important part. Heat some oil in the pan, put in a sheet of cold noodles, crack an egg on top, and spread the egg evenly. Let it cook until it sets, then sprinkle chopped onions on it. Flip the noodle sheet over, and let the other side heat through properly. Because these noodles have been frozen and thawed, they've fallen apart and are a bit tricky to handle. If you buy these cold noodles too, remember, after opening, store them sealed in the refrigerator, not the freezer. Next, brush on the special sauce that comes with the package, add your meat and lettuce, then roll it up. Cut it into pieces with a spatula or knife, plate it, and it's ready to eat. Not bad at all. I'm going to make some more. We have 4 people in the house. This won't be enough. By the way, another part of our living costs is fuel. In rural China, many local people still use traditional clay stoves for cooking, which costs almost nothing, because the fuel is just dry branches, and dried ferns collected from the mountains. There's basically an endless supply, but it does take effort. So nowadays we also use gas. We use bottled gas, and it costs about $10 per month. So overall, the housing-related expenses in the countryside are really low. Electricity plus gas comes to about $30 a month. That's just $1 per day. For me, who's currently out of a regular job, this is basically no burden at all. Although I lost my job, I'm now doing some freelance work online using my skills. The income isn't huge, but we're doing fine. So, how much do you spend on housing per month where you live? Feel free to share in the comments. I've heard that in some other countries, people have to pay property taxes, but I'm not sure exactly how much. Here in our village, we don't have to pay that for rural houses. This is my dad's handiwork from the past few days. It's been raining on and off, but today it finally cleared up. He's already built the frame of the new chicken coop using bamboo. He cut from the bamboo grove that belongs to my parents. The bamboo grows back quickly every year, so we usually cut some for fuel or to build things like this chicken coop. The old simple chicken coop we had before had holes, and the chickens and ducks kept escaping. But soon they'll have a nice new home. Every evening after dinner, if the weather is good, we take baby 5, 6, 7 for a walk along the road, enjoying the fresh air from the mountains and forests. This is our local shrine. In our area, almost every village has at least one shrine like this. It's dedicated to the local god who watches over the village. This is something I could never do when I was working in the city. There was only endless work and unpaid overtime. Now I really enjoy this village life. We have clean water, fresh air, and we can live here for just $1 a day. Most importantly, we have our family together. That's something money can't buy. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you have any questions about where I live, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you enjoy my rural lifestyle and want to support me, please subscribe to the channel. You can also send a super thanks. I really appreciate your support. See you in the next video. Bye bye. It was a bit after 10 p.m. and I was suddenly woken up by an incredibly loud cry. It wasn't the usual sound of insects at all. It sounded like some kind of bird call, but really piercing, almost exactly like a police car siren going off. Do you guys know what bird makes a sound like that? I grabbed my flashlight and shone it toward where the noise was coming from, hoping to scare whatever it was away. But it didn't seem to work at all. The calling just kept going. Only after the sound gradually moved farther away, could I finally fall back asleep.